morning, everybody. Welcome to another daily angel guidance message. It's Mila and me, Ramona Remisat. And I hope you guys all had a wonderful weekend. And here we are at the tail end of June, and the kids are wrapping up school here. And so they're very excited to be done with that and to officially start summer holidays. So if you're watching, let me know who's on and feel free to let me know where you're from. I always love seeing how far these messages get. So yeah, you got me in my gym gear. Good morning, Tammy. I'm off to work out with my trainer shortly. But I wanted to get in here and give you guys today's message, which is from the Magical Unicorns. And I love this one, you guys. Here it is. Decide. It's saying on the card, it's time to clearly make a decision about what you want. And I love this card because too often we don't decide. We kind of just, go along with the flow, and we're not really clearly choosing. So right now, this is coming up because a lot of you are at a crossroads, right? You're like, I could go this way, I could go this way, I could go this way. Like, what do I do? So what you can actually do is an exercise that I call trying on your life. And so what that means is you close your eyes and you picture yourself in each of those scenarios and really tune in and notice what your body is doing. I think I talked about this last week maybe, about how our body is our most accurate tool when it comes to decision making because it will tell you, right? So as you picture in vivid detail you engaged in that one scenario, see how you are feeling. Is it, making you feel excited and, those butterflies and kind of like fired up about it and makes you feel happy, makes you feel good? Or is it the opposite? Are you sort of like clenching anything? Is there a knot in your stomach? Are you feeling hot and kind of flushed? So pick up on those body cues and notice what your body is telling you. And the other thing that they're saying about this is to remember that sometimes we get so wrapped up in making decisions and we agonize over making decisions because we feel like we only get one shot. And that's not the case. You can always, always, always course correct. So if you decide one thing and you get into it and you're kind of like, you know what, that maybe wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be, you can either tweak things, change things, or you can totally do a course correct. And as an entrepreneur, we do that all the time, right? We try something, we do it, we get feedback, we change it, we're course correcting, we're always doing that. Companies do that all the time, right? So don't get into this thinking, oh my God, I better make the right decision because I only get one crack at this. That's not the case. You can always course correct. It might not be ideal, I get it. You might have put time, you might have put energy, you might have put money into something. And it isn't always fun to course correct, but it is possible, right? It's not going to be the end of the world. So remember that as you're going forward and making some choices and decisions. And you always want to decide in favor of what is ideal in your life, right? Not good enough, not okay, not so, but what is ideal? And if you're struggling to know what is ideal, you don't really know what your ideal life looks like, let me know, because there's an exercise that I take people through to really get a clear picture on that. And part of the reason why it's so important is so that these exact moments when you are faced with a choice or a decision or an opportunity comes in front of you, you can run it through your list of what would make your life ideal. And that makes decision making really easy because you can say, is this choice going to bring me closer to what is ideal for me, or is it going to take me way far away? Right? And if it's taking you way far away, then that isn't going to be in alignment with your ideal life. So you can maybe decide that isn't for me, right? So that's something else that you want to consider. But like I said, do the trying your life on exercise. Take a few minutes to close your eyes, visualize in vivid detail doing that one option, and notice what your body is telling you about that. Oh, I'm so glad, Sharon. Thank you for sharing that. That's great feedback. I love to hear that. What is the other thing they want to say about decision making? I had it and it's gone. Okay, we'll come back in a moment. Does anybody have any questions about this? Is it making sense? Obviously for Sharon, she's saying, yeah, it's perfect for what she's going through, so that's awesome. You know, like I said, decision, oh, I know what it was that I wanted to share with you. The other thing you can do when you have to make a decision, and this is exactly what I did. This is when I was deciding to start my spiritual-based business, you know, I was waking up every day, I was feeling very sad, I was feeling very unfulfilled, I was feeling very disconnected from my purpose, even though I didn't exactly know for sure what the purpose was initially, and just not happy. And then on the other hand, so that was one hand, you know, I could do this every day, wake up like this every single day. On the other hand, I had, okay, or I can start this spiritually based business. I am not, you know, I never knew anything about business. I didn't go to school for that. I didn't consider myself an entrepreneur. I was in my 40s and I was like, here I am going to start a business, and I'm, you know, coming out of the spiritual closet, so to speak. It's like, here I am. And so there was a lot of fear and, you know, anxiety all around that, right? So I had these two options, right? So I'm looking at these two things, and one day these words literally just popped in my head. It was, what scares me more, right? Is it starting this business and maybe not knowing all the answers, but I'm thinking I'm pretty smart. I can source help in the areas that I'm not strong in or that I need some support with. On the other hand, I can choose to stay the status quo, but keep waking up every day, like I said, feeling like that, you know, not happy, disconnected from my purpose, unfulfilled, not being a good mother, you know, all these things. What scares me more? And in that moment, it was very easy to decide. I was like, I cannot keep waking up like this. I can't. So I'm going this route. I'm going to start this business. Like I said, even though I don't have all the answers, I'm a smart person. I can get support and help in the areas that I need. And that's exactly what I did. So, you know, sometimes you have to ask yourself those questions too. If you're faced with a decision or a choice and you've got a couple of options in front of you, ask yourself, what scares me more, right? Is it staying where I am? Is it doing this? Is it doing that? And running that through, you know, your filter and seeing how you respond that way. Okay, so I hope that helps for everybody out there who's struggling with making a decision. And always ask your angels. Say, you know, angels, please guide me to, you know, what is optimal for me. Never say should or, you know, what is best, because really, who's to say what is best and should? You know, those are all judgment words, right? So we want to say what is optimal. So that's your homework for today. If you're struggling with making a decision, it's just to decide. The other thing too that's kind of popping in with this is some people, it's not like you have a monumental decision, right? But you're kind of like, you know, waffling, kind of like floating around in certain areas. And it's like, just decide, you know, if you really want to get healthy, decide you're going to do the steps that it takes to do that, right? If you really want to do, I don't know, a project, decide that you're going to do it, set the deadline, and then start backing it out as to when you need to have all the sub pieces done by, right? It's kind of like people who set goals, but then they don't really write them down, or they don't really have the steps in place. You know, they don't write down the steps that it's going to take to achieve that goal, right? So it's like for me, because I run, right? So if I decide, you know, if I say, oh yeah, I'm going to run a race, I'm going to run a race, I'm going to run a race, I don't really train, I don't really follow anything, you know what I mean? But if I decide I am going to run this race and I put my registration in, then you can believe I'm at my computer writing up my training plan. I've printed out, I've got it in front of me, and every single training day I'm checking off all of those training sessions so I'm ready and prepared for when race day comes. Right, so that's kind of what I'm talking about. So if some of you are like, oh yeah, I want to lose that 10 pounds, or oh, I really want to eat healthier, or I want to, you know, go on a trip, you know, like, but you're just kind of not really deciding that you're going to do it, it's not going to happen, right? So everything starts with a decision, making that decision. So that's something else. Some of you are kind of floaty right now. So that's your message, okay? So hope that helps everybody, and I hope you enjoyed today. It's going to be beautiful here. It's supposed to be hot, 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 up to 30-something degrees here in Celsius, which is pretty darn warm for us. So I am going to get my workout in before it hits the high temps. And hope you guys all have a great day, and hope we'll see you here tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to have to be back with Takeaway Tip Tuesday early again. So stay tuned for the time. I think it's going to be at 10 a.m. my time, which will be noon Eastern. Okay, so I'll put a posting here later today, so come back on the page. You'll want to tune in for Takeaway Tip Tuesday because that's where we have a lot of fun going more in depth onto a specific topic. And I don't know what that is yet, but I will post that. So thanks for joining me, everybody. Have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow in the morning, earlier for the daily angel guidance message, and then again at noon Eastern or 10 Mountain for Takeaway Tip Tuesday. See you then. Bye now.